Emotional intelligence is an essential personal skill. But what is it? How is it different to intelligence? And how can it be used to harness your best self? Watch this set to find out. I'm Steph, and emotional intelligence is more than just a buzzword. It's defined as the ability to identify, understand, and manage our emotions and the emotions in others, positively or negatively. Being able to manage our emotions is especially important in situations of pressure, such as receiving feedback, meeting deadlines, and navigating change, or entering a new situation. Emotional intelligence is a skill which can be worked on to improve, and it can be used to harness your best self as you begin to navigate your emotions better. So, why is it important? People who have a high emotional intelligence can build better relationships and they can communicate their feelings better. It also strengthens our skills as leaders by learning to manage and empathize with people. In the workplace, it is beneficial to work on your emotional intelligence for building work relationships. Internally, so that you can have a more enjoyable work experience, but also externally by networking. This can make you more noticeable in your career and can help you grow long-lasting relationships. There are 4 important aspects of emotional intelligence which I'm going to highlight: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and social skill. Self-awareness, which is the ability to accurately perceive your emotions and stay aware of them as you feel them. To use self-awareness to increase your emotional intelligence, you can start to monitor your feelings. First think, what are you feeling? Is it happiness, sadness, frustration, or anger? Then think what made you feel this way. Practicing this will help you understand your emotions better. Next is self-management, which is the ability to use your self-awareness to positively direct your behavior. This is taking control of your emotions and thinking before you act. An easy exercise for this is to take a deep breath before reacting straight away. Social awareness. This is sensing other people's emotions and understanding their perspective. To practice this, listen and create room for empathy and other people's feelings. And lastly, social skill. This is the ability to inspire and help develop abilities of others through constructive feedback and guidance. A key aspect of this is to de-escalate disagreements. To help this, you should practice your communication skills and be motivational to help others. Emotional intelligence involves social awareness, such as looking at external situations to sense how to act. For example, you walk into a room of people. What are you doing first? Being emotionally intelligent would mean that you'd walk into a room and read the room first. Read people's body languages, the tone in their voice, and their expressions, and then adjust your behavior to act accordingly. In the workplace, consider how you listen to others in meetings and how you know when it's your moment to respond. How you'd empathize and show understanding to an upset colleague, such as offering a cup of tea or a walk outside. How you can contribute to an atmosphere where everyone feels open to express themselves, such as avoiding gossip and any side conversations. From a recruitment point of view, our guest speaker covers why it's an important skill to have in the workplace.
Hi, I'm Yola Brooking. I'm the HR Director at Suntory GB&I Business, and I'm here today to talk to you about what emotional intelligence means to me. So emotional intelligence is really about understanding and managing your own emotions and those of the people around you. And it's made up of 3 areas. So there's self-reflection, empathy, and self-care. What is self-reflection? So self-reflection is basically, when you've had a really great meeting or a really great day and you think to yourself, wow, that was amazing. I really showed up there, did a really great job. Or when you've had a really bad day and you think, oh, that didn't go so well. And why are the reasons those things didn't go so well? Was it because I was nervous? Was it because, something was going on at home? What was going on in that moment for me? And having that time to self-reflect really helps you to understand yourself and your emotions. The next is empathy. So that is really about understanding somebody else's perspective. So putting yourself in that other person's shoes and understanding it from their point of view. And of course, everybody's different. We're all from different backgrounds. So different people have different views on things. And to be able to understand that really helps you in the world of work. And the third thing is self-care. And this is a thing that people find probably most difficult, but this is all about how to look after yourself, whether that's going for a run or going to the gym, or if it's just reading a book and relaxing and taking that time for yourself to just be at one with yourself and your emotions and how you're feeling about things. So why are all these things really important in the world of work? People who join work and who are really high in emotional intelligence often create a working environment that people like to be in. So people enjoy working with people who have got high emotional intelligence. And often people with high emotional intelligence lead to increased high performance in a business. So we really look for people who are both got ability to create great teams and have create high performance, but also to have high emotional intelligence and understand others so that they can work together in unison. So what do people with high emotional intelligence do that is different to other people who might not have such high emotional intelligence? They aren't afraid to change. They're not afraid to take risks. They've got huge growth mindset, which basically means they're happy to take a different approach to life and try things and make mistakes and give it a go. They also can relate to other people because they have this high empathy levels where they can really understand somebody else's perspective, and they have a positive attitude to life in general. So they have a mantra of positivity and really thinking about that cup that is, half full rather than half empty. So what advice would I give to a young person who was new to the world of work, who needed to develop the skill of emotional intelligence? So the first thing I would say is get to know yourself and other people really well. And there's lots of tools on the internet that can help you with this. So there's a specific tool called Johara's window. It's a really good tool to help you understand where perhaps your blind spots are when it comes to emotional intelligence and understanding yourself and other people. The other tool that's really good is something called HBDI and DISC, and you can find those also. If you Google them, you'll be able to find them. The other thing I would say that would be really helpful to do is just read or listen to some podcasts on emotional intelligence. Recently, I've listened to this great podcast with Johanna Konta, who is the British #1 tennis player. It's on the High Performance podcast series that you can get if you just go into podcasting app that you've got. And she talks about the moment when she became aware of her emotional state and how that helped her become British #1 tennis player. It's a really great podcast and really brings to life high performance with emotional intelligence attached. So it's definitely worth looking at that one. And the best piece of advice that somebody gave me about emotional intelligence is that emotions are separate from you. So you can completely control your emotions because they don't actually form part of you. They're not the boss of you, you're the boss of them. So it's about understanding how you can really look at your emotions in the states when you're doing something amazing and you're feeling very positive about yourself, or when you're not feeling so great about yourself and things aren't going so well, and how you can control those to give the best performance that you can give.
I had the opportunity to interview Ivorian Doll and ask how she uses emotional intelligence for social awareness.
So my question to you is, being the big personality that you are, how are you coming into the room and being self-aware?
The most important thing, like you said, is reading the room. So how to read the room, I think, is kind of like, it's based on energy, but not a lot of people know that. So you have to, I'm always bubbly no matter what type of mood I am in. Like I could be upset, but as soon as I walk in, first I look at people's facial expression. So if they look at me like straight face and don't say anything, I'm like, okay, do you even like me? Why are you, do you know what I mean? But if they're like smiling, it's like, okay, that gives off friendly.
Yeah, and trying to match the energy.
Yeah, so then I smile. But if they're like a bit standoffish, I'm not standoffish, but I'll just be like, okay, maybe we'll take a bit time to warm up because not everybody's like has the same personality as me. So if I'm not in the mood, I wouldn't be rude, but I'll just kind of listen to them and I'll like take in what everyone's saying. But yeah.
That was amazing advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great insight from both of our guests. Now, I'm going to list some statements and you can use it to test your emotional intelligence. Reflect on how many you can agree with about yourself. 1, you're constantly striving to understand the human condition. 2, you're inherently curious about the way other people live. 3, you're self-aware about your shortcomings and your strengths. 4, you place an emphasis on living in the moment rather than in the past or in the future. 5, you actively try and understand your moods and change them when they go bad. 6, you confront people as issues arise instead of letting them fester from within. 7, your motivations come from within yourself and not from outside influences. Even if you couldn't say yes to all these statements, reflect where your weaknesses are in emotional intelligence. Use the practices outlined in this set to strive for 7 out of 7. If you need other help, please see Apprentice Nation sets such as how to make great first impressions and setting you up for success. Here is a quote to leave you with. If your emotional abilities aren't in hand, if you don't have self-awareness or not abilities to empathize, then no matter how smart you are, you're not going to get far. Thanks so much, guys, for watching this set.